Everybody, welcome to Meet the Mailers. I'm Paul Bobnak for Who's Mailing What, a direct mail 2.0 company. And today I'm talking with AJ Layo. She's a sales manager for Sylvamo, the world's paper company. And we're going to be talking about direct mail, of course, paper, and all great things surrounding both of them. Now, before we get started, if you have any questions or feedback, please leave the comments in the box below. You can show your support for the Who's Mailing What channel by tapping the like button. And to get notified of when we had new videos, click on subscribe. Well, let's meet the mailers. Hi, AJ, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks so much for being here today. Why don't we get started by talking about your journey? I know you're a big reader of printed books. So what was it that led you up to where you are today at Sylvamo and the world of paper?
Yeah, so I have been with Sylvamo, which is formerly International Paper, for over 20 years now, which is really hard to believe. And really, my career started more as just a practical decision. I wanted to take advantage of the tuition reimbursement that IP offered to pay for my MBA, but then it turned into something much deeper. I quickly realized that we don't just make paper, we enable communication at scale, whether it's education, compliance, marketing, or storytelling, which is where I love with all the books that I read. Paper is infrastructure for how society connects and functions. And I love that about this industry. You know, I can remember as a kid growing up and getting like the Sears catalogs around the holidays and circling, what toys I wanted for Christmas. And I never really thought about, how it was made. I just knew it mattered. And I wasn't thinking about supply chains or mills or printing presses. I was really just thinking about the possibility of getting that new toy. And now it's nice because I get to be a part of the process that makes that possibility tangible. So it really has turned into a true passion and a career.
Right. Very cool. Yeah, I talk to people all the time and talk about, the great, as I've said like 1,000 times, the ecosystem of direct mail and how it fits into the ecosystem of print. And it's just gigantic and kind of mind-blowing, like all the pieces that have to come together to produce a piece of mail or a catalog or, a book or anything. It's so much involved with it.
Yeah. Have you been to a paper mill before?
I have not. That's
Okay.
on my to-do list, though.
We need to get you there because when you see, a paper machine,
hmm
and just all that goes into making that paper, it's pretty fascinating.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it. So, what does your job involve as a leader and a sales manager?
Yeah, so I have a really cool job. So my role sits kind of at the intersection of sales, brand strategy, and industry education. So
Okay.
we don't just make paper and sell paper. We help printers and marketers win business. I recently took over the role as marketing manager for our converting and printing papers,
hmm
where I oversee some of our most iconic brands. Hopefully, you'll recognize some of the brands, but Accent Opaque, Williamsburg Offset, and Spring Hill. So I manage the marketing of those brands now. And then beyond brand stewardship, our focus really is just driving demand. So we get to work closely with customers to educate the market on the value and the effectiveness of print. And as the industry evolves, which we know it does, we help them turn change into opportunity. So whether
hmm
that's leveraging USPS promotions, the Mail Growth Incentive, sustainability initiatives, or new technology that enhance performance and ROI, I get to be a part of those conversations with our customers.
hmm Well, we'll get into some of those other topics you mentioned in a couple minutes. Usually, I ask guests for kind of a brief rundown of what their company's products and services are. But because Sylvamo is such a major player in the industry across the board, can you maybe just focus on what might be of interest to printers and marketers who produce mail?
Yeah, so we're still working really hard to improve just the Sylvamo brand recognition. It's
Mhm.
only been about 4 years, I think, since we've split from IP. So we're still
Mhm.
trying to make sure people know who we are, but we are the world's paper company.
Right.
Um, and so our brands are behind a significant portion of the mail that runs through the USPS. In fact, about 1 in 3 pieces that goes through the postal service is on our paper, whether that's a marketing piece, a statement, or even an envelope. So that scale really gives us a unique responsibility to support the health of the mail channel. I mean, direct mail is really important to us.
Right.
So one of the biggest opportunities ahead is really the USPS sustainability add-on for the 2026 promotions, where all of our North American products are pre-approved, which makes it really simple for printers and marketers to participate without added complexity. You really just have to
Mhm.
know how to execute it, and that's kind of the hard part.
Yeah.
So in today's environment, if you are not leveraging these available promotions, you're really leaving margin on the table, and so that's where Sylvamo makes a difference. We
Mhm.
combine scale, our product leadership, and industry insight really to help mailers and marketers protect margin, demonstrate sustainability, and drive measurable results.
Right.
So we want to be more than just a paper manufacturer. We really want to be a resource for our customers, and I think that's what makes us different.
Mhm. Would you say that scale is one of those real specific advantages of partnering with Sylvamo?
Yes, I would say that's one of our biggest advantages. So, um, all we do at Sylvamo is make uncoated free sheet paper. So really, because that is our main focus, that clarity really translates into stability for our customers. We're not converting machines to make other grades, and we're not shifting from that category. It's all we do, and we are committed to it, which gives printers and marketers confidence in long-term supply. Supply is a big topic right now. And so partnering with Sylvamo, you have that confidence that we're not going anywhere. In fact, we are investing. So we announced couple of months ago, we are going to be spending about $150 million just this year to improve our Eastover, South Carolina mill and our Sumter, South Carolina sheet plant, which will add about 60,000 tons of domestic capacity.
Wow.
Big investment. So I think that investment really signals that commitment. We're here, we're focused, and we're building for the future, and we're not going anywhere.
No, I love that. In January, Sylvamo was a sponsor of a webinar uh, all about the 2026 USPS promotions. And, you don't have to, I wouldn't say we don't have to talk about all the specifics of all the incentives because that's what that, length of that seminar would all be about. But after looking at this toolkit, which was, provided to people who attended, I think we can talk about, which ones, how it provides three big benefits to printers and end users of mail.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're doing this whole pressing issues webinar series. A lot of it has been focused on the USPS promotions and the mail growth incentives, but we do talk about other hot topics in the industry. A big one right now is extended producer responsibility and the
Mm,
European Union deforestation regulations. So we're trying to just really be thought leaders in the industry. We view it really as our responsibility to help the industry capture available value. So specifically to the USPS promotions webinar, which you can find on our resource page, and I can get you that link. But you can watch the recording. You can even get the deck. But
right.
really, postage is the largest line item in a lot of mail campaigns. So ignoring these promotions is like voluntarily paying more. So it's really our job to help educate our customers on how to execute that. Again, we don't want mail to decline as postage rates go up. So, that's why we started this series. But, we've learned a lot of printers and brand owners and MSPs still don't really know how to execute these promotions. So we walk through step by step, even through USPS's Business Customer Gateway portal, what you need to do to upload and get approval to take advantage of the promotions. And so we kind of just walk through all the specifics to help our customers save money and continue to send mail.
Right. Yeah. I mean, to me, that's the value of it. Why leave money on the table when it's right there for the taking? And for a lot of people too, it's about making people aware of all these amazing technologies that really push the envelope, so to speak,
Right.
and make more mail more valuable to the end users.
Right. The promotions are really, of course, to help you save money. But like you said, it's really about how can you improve that piece to get more engagement? And it really encourages you to try some new things that will hopefully be a win-win for everybody.
Right. Right. Exactly. You mentioned sustainability. I want to touch on that, some more. I know that, you mentioned that Sylvamo produces paper products that are pre-approved by the USPS sustainability add-on promotion. But let's talk about getting buy-in. How can printers and marketers counter, the pervasive myths and misconceptions about how paper is produced and, how it goes through the whole life cycle?
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's a lot of myths in our industry, and it's really just about education. Two Sides North America, they do a great job. They have
Yeah.
a good website that has a lot of myth busters out there. But really, I think the biggest myth that we struggle with and try to educate our customers is it's okay to use paper. Paper is a renewable resource. Our entire business depends on the sustainability of forest. So without trees and sustainable forests, we couldn't exist. So, paper-based products are among the most recycled materials on Earth. So again, it's okay. It's okay to use paper and send mail. It's okay for the environment to do that. So whenever I see on the mail I get, which I'm always paying really close attention to what is coming in the mail, but whenever I see go paperless saves trees,
Yeah.
that one's always a tough one because it just creates that impression that trees are a finite resource and that forests are being depleted. And in reality, the amount of forest land in the U.S. has been increasing annually for more than 30 years. So that's the biggest misconception. We're trying to educate our customers and just the industry as a whole to make sure, folks know the forest land in the U.S. is actually growing.
hmm Yeah, I received one of those notices from one of my utility companies, and I shook my head. I really should reach out to them about that. It was
Yeah.
just, yeah, a lot of inaccuracies. So ultimately, what's the value of paper to you, whether it's a book or other printed material? Why does it work for you?
Yeah, I mean, I love this question, and if you follow me on LinkedIn, every week I post my book, that
Absolutely.
my printed book that I'm reading. I try to read about a book a week, um, and what I also have two young kids in school, and research shows that reading on paper often leads to higher comprehension and deeper learning than reading on screens. So as a mom having these two kids, of course, that's important for me to make sure my kids are not in front of a screen all day and are reading from printed books. And it also, paper just kind of slows you down in a way that deepens understanding. And I feel that when I read, a printed book versus, something on the screen. So you always hear about that digital fatigue.
Mhm.
So sitting in front of a computer all day, it's always nice to turn it off and pick up something physical and hold it and turn the page. And so I really appreciate that part of the industry.
Right. Isn't that so great too when you pick up something like I picked up this, and it's basically like a retelling of the myth of Orpheus done in the 60s, and it has all these like amazing illustrations throughout it that go with the story. and it's on high quality paper. So it's like the combination of the storytelling and the illustrations in the feel of the paper as you're reading it.
It's a whole experience.
Right, right. Can't get that on, a everything fits on the on a phone or a device where everything's the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So what's one direct mail piece or campaign that you may have seen recently or received yourself that really made you stop and pay attention to and even maybe responded to it?
Yeah, so I think I mentioned earlier, I'm always paying attention to my mail, and looking, at what our brand owners are doing to get creative, really to get that engagement. But for me, it is Christmas cards.
Okay. Mhm.
I actually just took down my whole stack of Christmas cards that I got from
Wow,
friends and
that's a great
family,
collection.
and it's just is one thing that makes me so happy, to see pictures of everyone, and sometimes it's the
Yeah.
only time in the year that I get it, and knowing that these people spent 78 cents, to put a stamp on
Hmm.
that and send it to our
Hmm.
family, is just such a special experience that I get in the mail. So that's one. I mean, of course, again, I had two young kids, and love that Amazon started sending out their catalog again. And they're smart about it. They put stickers and games throughout. And
Right.
so it's definitely an experience that my kids are now having, similar to the one that I had as a kid, where they can kind of go and look at the toys and, make their Christmas list from. So I'm always paying attention to what is coming in. What about you? I mean, what piece has spoken to you recently?
Ooh, that's a really difficult question. I think I have, let me see if I have it here. So I have stacks of mail all over my
Uh-huh.
desk here, which is probably something I'm going to write about, but it's a 6-panel accordion mailer that I received, which has all these coupons on it.
Huh?
And you can take the coupons to the store and scan them. But if you scan the QR code here that's on the address side, what it does is it takes you to a landing page, and it's geolocated to your zip code.
Mm-hmm.
So it brings up on the landing page your local supermarket shopping apps. And if one of them is one that you use, you just tap on it and it'll open up your app and then put the coupons in your on your app. So you can just go right to the store.
Yeah.
So it's very convenient. I've never seen anything like it before, but it's all these in it's kind of seasonal too because it was um, you know, cleaning products, the beginning of the new year, people, start thinking about, how they can clean stuff up to start off the year right. So it's all these detergents and uh, air fresheners and all these Procter and Gamble products. That was pretty cool. I've never seen anything like
Yeah,
that
I
because
like that. I mean,
I,
and it really shows how you can combine print and technology, right?
Mhm, mhm.
And I'm curious, does it will it send you a text or a coupon if you're near the store?
No, it doesn't do that.
No.
No,
Okay. Okay.
no. But there's an app associated with it that I imagine might do something like that. So that was one, but I think another one was and I don't have it here, but they were all these all these envelopes I've been seeing because um, a bunch of people give me their mail, just because they know I collect it and look at it and write about it and talk about it, and all of these lined envelopes, uh, which are, they feel different, they look different,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and all it is embossing it with
Well,
these
hopefully that means
vertical
they're
lines.
taking advantage of that tactile promotion.
Mhm.
That's one of the things that just having, some texture on an envelope can qualify you for that tactile promotion.
Right,
So,
right. Yeah, that could be. I mean, these are like all across the board too. There were some nonprofits in there. There were utilities. There were um, insurance, financial services. So it looks like it's a little bit more prestigious when that kind of paper has like a little bit more of an expensive feel to it. There were a couple that the lines were horizontal instead of, or they were horizontal instead of vertical, which I think was, most of them are vertical lines. But it was, uh, a trend I haven't, you've always seen like lots of envelopes like that, but not to the extent that I've seen it lately. So
Yeah.
it's a little mini trend.
Yeah. Well,
So
it sounds like it worked. It made you feel
yeah,
it and made you open it.
yeah. Well, I
So
love envelopes. So um, well, anyway, at Who's Mailing What in Direct Mail 2.0, we're all about helping people with their needs and wants, improving their direct mail. So how can people contact you or Sylvamo to find out more about products and solutions?
yeah, so you can find me on LinkedIn, just AJ Layo. Reach
Yeah.
out to me there. Of course, Sylvamo, we've got a website. If you don't know who your local Sylvamo rep is, I can help make that introduction. So, please reach out to me. We are really trying to get to be that resource for the industry. So, if you've got topics that you want to learn about or have questions about, maybe we could do a webinar on it. So,
Right.
we love to get that kind of feedback from our customers, and we want to start building those relationships where you do see us more than just the paper manufacturer.
Wonderful. Well, again, thank you for being on Meet the Mailers today. And thank you all out there for joining us today. Remember, questions and feedback are always welcome. So reach out to me. Tap those like and subscribe buttons. If you want to be highlighted in a future Meet the Mailers, please reach out to me. My contact info can be found in the paragraph below by tapping Show More. And we can talk about how we can showcase your company, your solutions, and your thought leadership. Thanks again for watching Meet the Mailers, and see you here next time.